Gemini, what is going on? Here's your reading for mid-month for June. Let me let you know the contemplators that jumped. The World card, the Page of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Ace of Cups, giving a cup to someone, Gemini. The Five of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Star card, the Ten of Cups, the King of Cups reversed, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands reversed, and then at the end, Justice. You guys had a lot of cards that popped out this month, this mid-month. I have to get in the habit of saying that, but this mid-month, a lot of cards popped out. It's not necessarily a bad thing or good thing. Maybe you guys are just, given that it's Gemini season, you know, maybe you guys are very communicative right now, which is understandable. Everyone is right now. But yeah, let's go and get started and see what the reading has in store for you guys. All right. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Gemini with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks. And please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay the messages as they're meant to be. Okay. Father God, can you please release... What's going on with these cards here? There we go. Father God, can you please release Gemini's first base card for mid-June 2017? Okay. You wanted to pop out. So it's the Two of Swords reversed. Okay, God, why is the Two of Swords reversed here for Gemini for mid-June 2017? You want us to pop out? I'm going to take this guy. Okay. The Three of Swords. It's an interesting little duel there. Father God, what? Okay. Two of Swords here. In reverse for Gemini for next season. You wanted to pop out? Take him too. So we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This came out upright, the contemplators. Okay, then we have the Queen of Wands reversed. This popped out exactly like this in your guys' contemplators. So, let's see. Then we have Justice as well. Could be dealing with the Libra, maybe. Camera seems to be a little crooked. There we go. Okay. What God is there? Anything would you like to pop up for Gemini's second base card for June, mid-June 2017? God, please release and jump out. Okay. All right. We got two here. I'm not going to take them. I just don't feel right about those two. Okay. See, there we go. That's why, right? Okay. We have the Six of Wands here. See, we work off of intuition, you know, see what's going on, but let's see. Father God, why is the Six of Wands here for Gemini for mid-June regarding their current disposition and their current situations? Anything else that you'd like to release, Father God, for June for Gemini regarding the situations at hand and the current disposition? Okay, these two are here, so I'm going to take them. Okay, so the first, we have the Ace of Swords reversed. Then we have the Queen of Cups here. Then we have the Page of Swords. Well, a lot of communication this month, Gemini. Okay, I'm going to go and do what we did with Capricorn. I'm just going to do one section at a time along with the you guys' crowning cards. So we'll come back to this and just give you the rest of it. And it's the Knight of Wands as well. Okay. So this is the order it goes for the second set. Six of Wands is the base. Then clarifying it, we have the Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords reversed, the Queen of Cups, the Page of Swords, and then the Knight of Wands upright, okay? Father God, what's crowning Gemini this mid-June for the Two of Swords in reverse and the Six of Wands? Right. He wants to pop out. This is the King of Swords reversed. Sorry, Gemini, one second. Okay, sorry about that, Gemini. Had some family come in. But okay, so crowning you, right? It was this card first, and then it was the King of Swords, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so here we have the Knight of Swords here. You can see it there. Okay. And then after that, we had the King of Swords reversed. Okay, let's see. Father God, is there, okay, all right, is there anything she would like to release for what's crowning Gemini? Okay, we'll go with it. So we have the Sun here. Then we have the Eight of Swords, Gemini, just communication all in through this reading. This is crazy. Okay, and then we have, oh, Strength in reverse. Okay, all right, it's all right. Okay. Let's see, let me go and get this straight here. Okay, Gemini. So, base, clarifiers for the base, crowning you and your thoughts. Then we have the other second over here on this side over here, and we'll go and tackle that one. So coming out of a period of like impasse, right? Coming out of a period of maybe feeling, like now you feel like you can move forward, which is great, right? But Gemini, why do we have, some heartbreak here, or maybe possibly a third-party intrusion? Now, it can be for anything. It can be for any situation that pertains to your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be, for a relationship or something to that effect, right? But Gemini, I'm kind of feeling that, you feel maybe as though you don't have the necessary tools right now, or you don't feel like you have the drive to maybe lay a positive foundation down right now, or you feel like there's a hindrance maybe in the development of it. because we have the Queen of Wands here in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse. So with the Queen of Wands in reverse here, you know, that's kind of a woman who, could be a woman, could be a man. I just say woman, you know, for the sake of the card. Kind of someone who lays the foundation, right? But the foundation has a lot of upheaval with it, a lot of fiery energy that comes with it. And this fiery energy that comes with it, it gets laid down, right? But it gets laid down in a very particular manner. Now, when I say particular manner, everything is done in a certain sequence, right? To attain a, you know, a common goal, right? But when this is laid down with the Queen of Wands, it kind of feels like it's an energy where you're kind of walking on eggshells a little bit, right? Now, you could either be walking on eggshells or the people that you're involved with could be walking on eggshells, or they feel as though. And with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here as well, the people that are maybe involved in your situation kind of feel, or they can feel, that maybe right now, they kind of feel your energy as not being so confident right now in terms of laying down this foundation. Now, we have justice here at the end. Now, if you think about it, why is justice here, right? If the foundation being laid down, you feel that the foundation that you are laying down and you're maintaining the environment brings you out of sadness or brings you out of an impasse, right? It may lead you to other opportunities in terms of maybe lead you out of feeling kind of sad or coming out of that period of, you know, being kind of sad. Just you can't move forward, right? You're coming out of that period of being able to move forward now, not being able to not move forward, right? But the people that are involved, Gemini, how is that making them feel? How are they perceiving things to be? You know, because right here we have the Queen of Wands and she's sort of looking, if you see, in the direction of the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here. Now, if the cards were upright, it would be completely different. She'd be looking at justice then, right? But why is the Queen of Wands, who creates that environment of creativity, right? Who lays it down, but when she's in reverse, like I said, it's a lot of upheaval, it's a lot of walking on eggshells, maybe people that you're involved with. Why is she not looking at justice? Because, let me check it out. See, she's looking away. But if they were upright, or at least justice was upright, should be looking at justice. Right? He, she, any sex of the card. But she's not looking at it. So Gemini, are you creating an environment where people that are involved in it are maybe feeling a little sad or a little strained, or feeling like, you know, they can't express themselves? They're feeling a little sad with the Three of Swords here. You know, and hey, we're all entitled to create our lives the way that we would like. Of course, I'm not debating that. But you know, Gemini, why do you get to feel as though you're coming out of a period of an impasse, right? You freeing yourself from not being able to move forward, but the people that are involved feel like they can't move forward, or moving forward causes some kind of detriment upon them, you know? Sorry, Gemini, I'm getting a lot of interruptions. I'm trying to do a reading. Let me plug my charger in, okay? 1 second. Okay, now we're back for the third time. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So yeah, Gemini, you know, why do people feel like as though that they can't maybe express themselves, or they feel like maybe a little tension? You know, that has to do with the environment as to what's being created. Now, I do feel, Gemini, though, like I don't feel initially through this reading that this is a cruel thing. I don't feel like you are initially doing this to get a response out of them, or doing it for a motive as in like contrivance, you know? I really don't feel like that. I really feel like this is kind of done on a subconscious level, right? Because you have the Knight of Swords here, which is great, right? Trying to find a way of communicating properly, trying to find a way of delivering those messages that you want to deliver to people in a positive manner, you know, trying to understand how to do it properly or different ways of doing it and applying it, right? But we have the King of Swords here in reverse. And the King of Swords in reverse can speak of someone who's, you know, kind of cruel. Someone who is very arrogant a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that this is you. Once again, general reading. Apply it to your situation. Maybe this is done to you. Maybe you're in an environment with a Gemini where this is being done to you, you know? Cross-watching and stuff, which is cool. But, yeah, so the King of Swords, when he's in reverse, someone who's very abrupt, someone who's very cruel, someone who is very judgmental, you know? That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of feeling like this is done on a subconscious level, Gemini, you know, because even here you have the Sun, which is a wonderful card, you know, but at the same time, Gemini, I kind of feel like I said, you're not doing this deliberately because the Sun is here. So I don't really feel like you are feeling good about this. Like this is something that you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get everyone. Like, no, I really don't feel like that's what's going on. But we have the Sun in the center, right? In terms of what's in your thoughts here. And then we have the Eight of Swords here. And then next to the Eight of Swords, we have Strength in reverse. That's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like this is done subconsciously. And then you kind of maybe wonder why you feel a little maybe weak or a little bit like your kind of things are a little out of control. You feel like you can't really manifest situations the way that you kind of want them to, you know, given that we have the Knight of Swords here, trying to understand how you can apply the communication, trying to understand new ways of actually applying it. And that's why I believe that we have the Two of Swords here in reverse for you coming out of that impasse, but then at the same time, we have the Three of Swords here for people maybe in the environment as to which you are dealing with, you know? And I'm kind of feeling too, you know, with the Eight of Swords here, that you kind of feel a little bit of being trapped a little bit, you know, in your thoughts. But we have to remember, you know, I mean, this deck doesn't really, you know, explicitly display how it looks in terms of the Robert Wade, you know, deck. But the Eight of Wands here, I mean, I'm sorry, I keep saying that. The Eight of Swords here signifies being trapped, but in the original picture, right? Like, let me show you, watch. On my phone, I just want to show you guys so you guys can have a clear picture of it. Okay, see? She has all the swords around her, right? But look at all the space that's open. And what is she tied to? I mean, yeah, she's bound, of course. But what is she tied to, though? Really nothing. And look at all that abundant space where she can walk out of it. Right? That's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like you guys feel a little trapped, but you're not really trapped, which does correspond with Strength in reverse here as well. I feel like this is somewhat of an illusion, you know, or you are convincing yourself that you are trapped, but you're not really trapped, Gemini. You know, I don't feel like you are. You may feel as though, that's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like this is not done because then you feel like you're sort of trapped in your mind, or you feel like your strength isn't there. But then you're kind of coming out of a period of feeling like you're not trapped or that you can't move forward. Get what I'm saying? When I feel like I said, this is not deliberately done. I feel like this is subconsciously done. There are issues going on within your mind or within your thoughts that are maybe preventing some of the positive feelings of people feeling okay within the environment that you're involved with, you know? Which is causing them to feel as so with the Three of Swords here, feeling like that. Which Justice is at the end, which the Queen of Wands here is has a blindfold, like I was saying, not looking at justice, because I feel like you're involved in your mind in terms of feeling maybe trapped, right? But then she has a blindfold on, choosing not to look at justice. But like I said, I don't feel like you're deliberately not looking at it. But what's fair? How are you portraying yourself? And how are you coming off to people within the situation? You know? Okay. 1 second. So, with the Six of Wands here. No? Hey, that's not too bad. I mean, the Six of Wands is a good card, Gemini. Is a card that has to do with being confident in celebrating life and just being nice and nice, nice, feeling nice about yourself. You know what I mean? And it's about public recognition. It's about victory. It's about progress and self-confidence, right? So you feel confident about yourself, and other people then recognize it in terms of the public, right? Which is why the Three of Swords may be here for you upon the other spread, on the other little, spread little thing we did. But why people would feel like this about you, feel like that within the environment, right? Maybe that's why also justice is here as well. Because people are feeling like, wow, like, why is Gemini doing this? Or why are they feeling like this? Or why is this being done to them when they're not like this? And especially during this month, when this is your birth month, and you, not saying supposed to, but usually during our birth month, we feel our vitality's up. We feel very ready to go, right? We feel extremely very confident, right? People recognize that within us, but then when we portray something different, and in our mind, when we're going back and forth in terms of trying to understand how to apply the communication way better within the family, or within the situation, but then kind of being a little judgmental, a little bit cruel at the same time, right? But then feeling pretty good about the whole situation, right? This is a beautiful combination here with the Sun and the Six of Wands here. This is a great combo. This is feeling good about yourself, and then this is feeling good about yourself in terms of like how you feel inside and how you interpret it. This is on a subconscious level, right? Feeling good, your vitality up, and then this is on a more obvious level or a more explicit level in terms of how you feel and how people recognize that. So that's great. But at the same time, why are we feeling a little bit, like we're not strong, or that, we are in a feeling of maybe feeling somewhat trapped, or feeling like we can't escape when we can escape? When there's really no escaping that has to be done in the first place. When, like that picture I showed you, when the woman was there, but there was a huge opening for her to actually walk out of that situation. And a lot of the times in tarot, when people have blindfolds over their faces, they don't want to see certain things, you know what I mean? Or they're not aware of certain things, And especially when it's in reverse, that blindfold is triple, quad, thick, where you really can't see, or you're choosing not to really see. Why are you choosing to not see that you're not really trapped? You're just in a little bit of a position maybe where you feel somewhat kind of sad, but you're interpreting feeling sad as being trapped, which you're not really trapped, Not sure why I'm shaking. This is crazy. But yeah, really not being trapped, right? And also, Gemini, why do we have feeling confident in your abilities and yourself, but then we really don't feel like the communication is maybe possibly there, or that we can apply new ways of applying this communication? Maybe it's because we're on the search for actually wanting to understand the communication, but at the same time, how are we actually delivering the communication? How are we seeking it, and what are we seeking in terms of how we're actually going about it? You know, because there's one way, it's one thing to seek for proper communication, but then it's another way of actually applying it to the situation. And when the Ace of Swords is in reverse, it can also imply that there are some secrets as well. Not really secrets, it's just more kind of information withheld, you know, not really speaking about certain things, you know. And maybe what kind of happens, you know, when we don't speak of certain things, you know, we end up creating an environment where creativity is not possible, or the creativity that is possible, it's only done by us, and other people feel like they can't implement it. Or a couple, you know, if you're coupled, maybe your significant other feels like this, you know, and also creating the environment where people don't maybe feel so secure, where people don't really feel like the foundation that's being laid down can be applied, and that they feel like they're not walking on eggshells. And what does this all lead to? You know, it leads to the Three of Swords, leads to a little bit of heartbreak, you know, because back to what I was saying is, how are we applying this information? Are we speaking of this information? I really feel, Gemini, that, you know, there has to come a period, Gemini, where you feel you can actually speak of the things that you want to speak of, not withholding information, you know, being like the Queen of Cups here, where you are applying or setting this foundation as to which emotion can then be spoke of, and that information can be received and therefore given as well, where the reciprocity comes in terms of the emotions, where you can speak of the things that you want to speak of, and it's in proper and a healthy manner, right? But also allowing other people to speak of their emotions as well, because we can't just go on in life and just say, well, what I say is it. You know, it's kind of like, this is random, but that's like if you have like Uranus in the 9th house, that tends to be where that happens. But that's a whole other subject in terms of, you know, pain and kind of karmic pains or things you bring in from the past within your charts. I should do a little series on that. Let me know, comment if you would like me to do that. But yeah, I mean, coming back to the main point here. But yeah, I mean, creating that environment where people can you know, deliver that emotion, and where it's fine, right? Because the Page of Swords here as well is another reason of seeking and initiating new conversations, and seeking and initiating understanding how you can apply the communication, right? But you can't apply the communication, Gemini, if you don't talk to people, if you don't practice this sort of system, or develop this system, or understand this system of how to communicate properly. You know, because when we don't speak of things and we just keep it in private, and we end up getting upset, you know, and we feel like our strength is down, right? And we also feel like we feel somewhat trapped in maybe our own mind, in terms of not communicating properly with people and not feeling strong, right? Is when we end up being the King of Swords in reverse, is when maybe situations arise or triggers arise, right? Or triggers arise in us, and then that's when we then feel that we lash out, or then things come up and then it's blah, you know, and then it all just kind of comes out, and then people are then looking at you like, what the hell is going on? Why are you so mad? Like, why are you so upset? You know, and then that's when we end up getting to the point, you know, where we get to the point of, here we go, where we get to the point of when we feel like we come out of that, when I say we, I mean you guys, coming out of that feeling of not being at an impasse because you expressed how you felt, you know. But then how do people around you feel the foundation is being applied? Do they feel safe? Do they feel like then they can actually renege or add to the foundation, you know, because then when the foundation is then laid and it's not a comfortable foundation and people feel like they're walking on eggshells, you know, then what's really fair, Gemini? Did those people deserve to be treated as so? Or do they deserve to feel a little heartbroken when things happen and when things transpire as so? We can't do that. We can't apply the way that we want things to feel. And then, like I always say, Gemini, to you, like, you know, we can't do that in terms of choosing when to speak of the certain situation, or choosing not to speak of the situation at all, not communicating properly with people. And then when triggers arise or when situations arise where it brings that feeling back up, then we lash out and then we can say what it is that we feel we need to say. But then the person's not going to understand because they don't understand the root of it. You know, Gemini? But nor do you understand the root when you don't even communicate with yourself properly and you don't dig deep and see where these issues arise and where they go awry and where they come from. You know, it's a disservice to yourself, but also a disservice to the people that are around you. You know? And it's also, you know, it's also a disservice to how the foundation is applied and how it's laid down and the creativity that we apply to that environment. No? And with the Knight of Wands here, I feel, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like you're doing this deliberately. I don't feel like this is contrivance at its finest, right? But the Knight of Wands here is now seeking to understand how to apply creativity and how to maybe make people not feel as so, to make yourself feel like you're not trapped and that you feel strong about your convictions and the things that you do and the things that you say. You know, that's very extremely important. Because you do feel pretty good though, Gemini, you know, or you feel somewhat balanced a little bit. But once again, how are the people feeling around you? You know, or the people that you are involved with in terms of whether this can be your job, this can be your home, this can be a getaway place, this can be your family, this can be a partnership, this can be relationships, this can be anything. Just apply it to your situation, you know? And that's when we find ourselves in situations where creativity, we're applying it, but it's really not coming out properly because we're not initiating it properly, like the Page of Swords here, right? Or we're not stepping foot on the precipice of wanting to understand how to apply it properly. And then we don't really talk to people. And then, you know, we leave them kind of in the dark and people can't love you in the dark. That's not how it works. It leads to a lot of misunderstandings. And then the quarrels start. And then, you know, the going back and forth starts. And then we come to that point where you maybe feel like, well, I said what I said and that's how I feel. Like, you know, whatever. But then what ends up happening is it comes out to where you start to feel trapped because now maybe you can't be honest with that person or you feel like they can't be honest with you. So therefore you're not yourself around that person, feeling trapped. And then that's when we don't feel strong. We don't feel strong and you guys don't feel strong as well. It's a domino effect as to how it happens, you know? Okay, let's go ahead and pull some advice cards. Oh, I never said you guys came into the reading. Oh my God. So sorry, Gemini. My God, your reading's a low. It's all right, right? We're a little, yeah, you see? This is the bottom of the deck, and look what it is. This is meant to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the card here. Okay, check this out. This is how you came into the reading, right? The Five of Wands here. So I'm going to lay this here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to shuffle for the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to leave it because look what came up. Okay. I'm going to pull 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pull one more card. Okay. Let me clear this up for you guys. There we go. Okay. So we have the devil here, you know? The things that are keeping you bound. Maybe the way that we're communicating with people, with the King of Cups here. I'm sorry, the King of Swords here. Maybe this can be the devil that's within you. Now, excuse when I say that, I don't mean like you're possessed, like, you know, the exorcist, like, "Argh!" No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that maybe this is the thing that is keeping you bound, but it's like I said in the beginning of the reading, it's a thing that keeps you bound, but you're not aware of it, you know, the communication, the errors in communication. But like I said, I really feel, Gemini, like you're not aware of this. So ignorance is not a bad thing. It just means that you don't understand. You don't know. And we can't blame you or anyone else for not understanding something when they don't know, when they're not aware of it. But like I said, I can always tell you guys, the first step to change is awareness, right? So now we are becoming aware, Gemini, of what's going on and how we're maybe portraying ourselves with the devil here. Because maybe we think that when we're not aware of this and we actually communicate in a way as to where it's not conducive to your environment or to how you want to portray yourself, and also the relationships with people, is when we may feel like, you know, with the Six of Cups in reverse, where we feel like we're coming out of that period of sadness, where we feel like we're coming out of that period of maybe, I don't want to say lies, but kind of coming out of that period of not repeating the past, you know? But what ends up happening, Gemini, is the Six of Cups here, especially when it's in reverse, you know, is being stuck in the past, Gemini. And it's thinking of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or, you know what, that person treated me like that. That person did this to me. You know what, I'm not going to answer their calls, or I'm not going to call them because I don't want to do that. You know, having that kind of negative way of thinking that keeps you bound to certain decisions that you make with the devil card here, and communicating improperly with the people that are there, and that people that are actually calling you because maybe they do want your attention and they maybe want to patch things up, but you have to give them the opportunity to patch things up, because then maybe we can turn the Strength card upright. You know, maybe then people won't then feel like they're trapped or that they are heartbroken, you know? Because then when we act like the Star card here, this has to do with healing. You could also maybe be dealing with an Aquarius. That could be possible. Also maybe a Capricorn, maybe a Leo, a crazy Leo. You can maybe be dealing with, yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Oh, a Cancer also. There's everyone up in here. Because then when we understand where the pain comes from, then we can heal ourselves, Gemini, and then we can then move forward and step forward, right? And how do we move forward? Like the Chariot here, when we move forward is because we understand how things are going. We then see the errors of our ways. We then see those things that keep us bound to how we are acting, or we become aware or conscious of it. Because if we don't speak to people, right, and we continue to be stuck in the past, you know, we then feel how we came into the reading with the Five of Wands here. We then feel like we're in constant battle with people, or certain situations where we feel the need to defend ourselves, and we feel like there's quarrelsome acts that come up, and we feel the need to have to, you know, go into it with such upheaval and such disconcerting feelings, and having to always say, well, you know what? I feel like this, you know, having to communicate improperly and being maybe somewhat judgmental, you know. But really, what's fair though, Gemini? Do we treat people like this. And once again, this can be maybe done to you. But just because they treat us like that, I mean, it's also dependent upon, the crime that's involved. But how about you become maybe the example as to how to properly do this, and how to properly apply the emotion and to not always be in a quarrelsome state with people by, communicating properly with people and by not withholding how you feel and by telling people how you feel, because then it builds up into you. You then communicate improperly, like the King of Swords here, right? And then that thing that keeps you bound comes out of you, and then it's portrayed into your relationships, right? Because then when we don't release that, we are then still continue to be stuck in the past. And then, we don't then allow ourselves to heal. And when you allow yourself to heal, it's by doing different things a different way, so that then you can see things from an objective point of view, which allows yourself to heal, Gemini, which then brings you to the point where you can move forward like the Chariot. And you can then take everything with you and move forward. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you see, I just had to check out the card real quick. So she's releasing her arm from the thing that's keeping her bound. She's releasing it because she's no longer going to accept it. She knows that it's not going to help her. And it's not something of substance, right? Because when we don't do that, Gemini, what ends up happening is that then we feel like we don't have those solid relationships with people, and we don't enjoy the company of people that we are involved with the Three of Cups in reverse here. It's vice versa. We don't enjoy their company and they don't enjoy our company, Maybe once again, not communicating properly, choosing to withhold how you feel about certain situations, right? We leave people in an upheaval or an indecision, right? Because maybe then we don't really feel strong, right? It leads to us not feeling strong. When I say us, I mean you guys, I'm sorry. Not feeling strong, which then leads to improper communication and maybe some judgmental ways of communicating, right? Which means, goes back to the main point of not enjoying other people's company and them not enjoying your company. Why? Because then, Gemini, we kind of feel like the Two of Pentacles in reverse here. We don't feel balanced. We don't feel like we can handle all the things that get thrown at us, So once again, Gemini, I feel like this month has a lot to do with communication. But be aware of it, Gemini. Be aware of how you're communicating your feelings and how people are perceiving them. And don't allow the devil, meaning the thing that keeps you bound, not the guy with the horns, realize how this is affecting your relationships. Okay, you see, look. See, even with, sorry the glare there, but even with the card, the camera's acting so stupid lately. Even with the card here, if you really kind of, wow, it's not zooming in right. Whatever. If you look at the card here, oh, there we go. So if you look at the card here, see how she's kind of bound there? She cannot move forward because of the thing that's holding her back there. Like the Chariot here. Being bound to that. Allowing it to hold you back and allowing it to continue to hold you back. Let that go, Gemini. You have to let it go. Because then we can enjoy the company of other people. We can then turn the Three of Cups upright. We can then feel balanced, right? Like we can handle all the situations that get thrown at us. And we can have the key to success and the key of opening up the new possibilities. All right, Gemini, this wasn't a bad reading. I don't feel like it was. This was more of just maybe awareness, what's going on and what's being portrayed. And we don't know what we're doing until it's brought to our attention, Okay, Gemini, yeah, here's your mid-June. Bottom of the deck, I just had to look. The Tower card reversed. This is not embracing change, and change actually coming about as to how it's going to come. But just because you don't embrace it doesn't mean, you know, that you shouldn't go into that moment of solace. You shouldn't go into, you could be dealing with a Virgo as well, a moment of solace to the point where, you know, you seek that enlightenment and choosing to take that enlightenment and to actually take it in and say, maybe I am acting like this, or maybe this is what is actually going on. Sorry, guys, the cards are so, this deck is not acting right. There we go. And knowing that, maybe I am acting like this. Maybe I should shape up, or maybe I should take this into consideration, you know? Because then when we do that, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. And this is coming out of a period of quarrelsomes, of having to defend yourself, of having to just shit being thrown at you, not feeling balanced, not feeling you can handle it all. Okay? All right, Gemini, check it out. I just want you to see. Not that it's a bad thing or anything, but look. It took a lot of these cards to get this message out. And that's when I was saying, when I felt like, you know, we're going to just split them in two, how we did it, you know, with the one set, and then we moved that, and we came in with the other set. You know, look. This has to do with a lot of communication. There's so many swords here. Look, sword, sword. I mean, even wands too, just creativity in general, you know. Sword, sword. I mean, you got the knight, you got the king, the two of swords, the eight of swords, the three of swords, the ace of swords. You know, this is all communication all right here. And then a couple of cups, right? But the cups that you did get had to do with, you know, a lot of emotion. The three of cups in reverse. The six of cups in reverse. Being stuck in the past. Not being able to enjoy other people's company. You know, those are the only two really cups that were here. Then we have the tower. The tower. You know, then we have the hermit. Like, you know, going over all these cards, right? But Gemini, I really feel like all of this can be avoided, you know, if and when we decide to not let the devil card rule us, to not allow it to control us any longer. And it all has to do, Gemini, with healing yourself, you know, just generally healing yourself, but also, you know, having to, where's that card at? But also having to, even though it was in reverse, but having to have that moment of enlightenment and looking at things from an objective point of view and saying, okay, I'm going to have to change this about myself. Like, I'm going to have to communicate a little bit better. And this month, Gemini, is the perfect month to do this. Because then, like I said, in your mind, or in your thoughts, you were feeling pretty good. So do this while you're more receptive to it. You know, then we can move forward like the Chariot. Okay? You could be dealing with the Cancer too. But yeah, I mean, in general. Okay, Gemini, sorry after the 3 interruptions. Like, my God, it was crazy. But hey, we got the message out. All right, Gemini, we'll see you in July.